Welcome to Rock Till You Drop. How do you take $3,600 and turn it into $1.5 million? You're gonna find out right now. Let's rock! Rockin' till you drop. We're here to talk about how this man took $3,600 and turned it into $1.5 million. Unbelievable. He did it. True?
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Now this starts back in 1967. Am I right about that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Tell us what you were doing in 1967.
Everything.
Yeah, we'll try and keep it.
What
can we put on TV?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. 1967. I was working for a company in Rochester, heavily into cars, and decided I wanted to get a really fast sports car.
You were into fast cars.
Right.
Not fast women, of course.
Of course not.
Yeah, he's lying. I know he is.
Okay.
Anyway, 1967. You're into fast cars.
Right.
Okay, and you decided that you were going to go out and buy a fast car. Tell us about that.
I had a fast car. I had a sports car. Got out of the Army, bought an Austin Healey. That wasn't fast enough. Bought a Sunbeam Tiger with a Ford engine, Ford V8. That wasn't fast enough.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough. So
okay.
I just learned about the Cobra, which is a 2,000-pound car with 400 horsepower. It was a drag race Cobra. And I figured that would probably be a good start. So,
now that was called a Dragon Snake?
Dragon Snake from drag racing.
And it was an official Shelby race car, if I remember right.
I didn't know that at the time because I bought it from a private owner, but it turned out that it had been a factory team car, yes.
Wow. And so you didn't know that, and it cost you $3,600.
Right.
And this is 1967.
It was a lot of money back there because you could buy a brand new Jaguar for $5,000. So to go to the bank and say I want I would like to have $3,600 for a used race car, I wouldn't get the money. I couldn't get the money.
So
but they gave you the money, but as a personal loan.
Okay,
not as a car loan.
So you took out a loan to get $3,600.
Right.
I mean, that takes a lot of guts to do that back in 1967. So
not when you're young.
So you put a cover on the car.
Started it up, a couple of times a year and looked at it. But I took it out once, I think, 10 years later or so for just some photos. I put it back on the road just to get a shoot done on it and then parked it again.
So in all those years, you took it out on the road once after you bought it.
Right.
Okay, so now you've got the printing business. You've got this car covered in the back of your print shop. Now all of a sudden, things start happening. It starts appreciating. Am I right about that?
Yeah, it started slow, but it was a very desirable car. A lot of guys wanted it, so the offer started rolling in, first from friends, And 1 year, somebody came up from Indianapolis with a suitcase full of $60,000. He thought that would impress me. Opened the suitcase, and he thought he'd be walking out with a car.
So this guy opens up a briefcase with 60 grand in cash.
So he said, but
you didn't count it?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know whether that was counterfeit or drug money. So but even a check wouldn't have done it. I didn't need to sell the car at that time, and.
So this guy, here he is. He's got his own business. The guy walks in with a suitcase full of money, and he turns him down.
Yeah, well.
You weren't ready to sell?
No.
Okay. It wasn't the money that was keeping the car there, right? Or was it?
No, not really. Not really.
It was your passion for the car. You liked the car.
I liked the car. Right.
Okay. So you have an offer at 60 grand. Where did the offers go to then?
It went to 200, and eventually it ended up being $500,000. That's the last I remember. The last concrete offer I had.
Okay.
And that offer happened to come from a fellow who would come into the shop now and then. Was a friend of my neighbor's by the name of Dana.
Dana. Okay.
Dana. That's all I knew about the guy. His name was Dana, and. Got to where every year or so in January, like clockwork, I'd get a call from Dana. Are you ready to sell a car? How much are you offering? No, I'm not. And that went on for a while until the car started reaching to where I thought it would be close to the $1 million mark.
Okay, so Dana's calling you every year.
Right.
And the price is going up every year, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
So you're very aware that this car is going up, and now it's getting close to $1 million.
Right, right.
Wow. $3,600. We're up to $1 million right now. Okay, so now it's getting closer to the price where you're starting to think that perhaps you want to sell it.
It's getting interesting.
It's getting interesting. Around $1 million.
$1 million is getting interesting.